just wanna live my life. I did what I thought was right, but they said I was wrong. Tryna save my life or take my own. I said I don't wanna hurt.
Hey, that boy Isaiah said some, I don't wanna hurt no more. I just wanna live my life. Trying to make it what is right, but they said I was wrong. Trying to save my life for I don't wanna hurt no more. I just wanna live my bro. Bro, Isaiah, you
Man,
took us back on that song. You took us back to a good old Negro spiritual with that one. That boy says, I
thank you.
don't wanna hate you, RT. I don't wanna hurt no more.
Man, thank you, man. I
I mess with
appreciate
it.
it.
It made a good intro song, so salute.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, anyways, everybody, welcome to the episode 2 of Speak Like Brothers. In this podcast, the objective will be to speak
Relate.
and understand.
This is a podcast where we talk everything culture, current events, sports, real life issues, and the conversations everybody's having, but nobody's really having. But before we get started today with this episode and the next segment, we want to just say a special shout out and thank you to everyone who supported the first episode, whether you
For real.
reposted us, watched, shared, commented, did whatever, just supporting the channel. We really appreciate y'all. So, yeah, this is the reason why we're doing this, man. So, yeah, we appreciate y'all.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Um, I know last time we kind of just jumped into it, with the popularity of the Carmelo case. Kind of didn't really get to
Mm.
introduce ourselves. So I felt like this podcast, the second episode, would be a perfect time to do that. Ben, you want to go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Most definitely. You know, I love talking about myself. Just kidding. Um, my name is Benjamin Ingram. I'm 18 years old, born and raised in Omaha. I'm an author, own a business, and I do content. Not that kind of content, but just a little lifestyle content, just a little, a little calm, little something, something put on my page, So I'm very family oriented, love my family, love helping people out, love volunteering. Christian guy, we love the Lord, praise the Lord, and yeah, I'm getting ready for college right now. I'm majoring in biology on a pre-dentistry track, so now that DR dot in front of the name and DDS behind it. So yeah, that's me. So about you, Isaiah?
My name is Isaiah Trailer. I'm from Omaha, and I do play football. I'm going to college. Like to play basketball, like to work out a lot, very, you know, athletic guy, into fitness. I love eating. I love giving back to the community. I love helping people. I love helping kids, developing them. Um, when it comes to stuff like sports, a very religious guy too, go to church, hardworking guy, and love traveling. But besides that, that's pretty much Trigger Trey for you, man. So,
Yeah, I forgot to add in mine too. I love to travel.
okay, yeah, for sure. Ben, so you want to tell them a little bit why you wanted to do the podcast, and I'll share mine after.
So the reason I said we should do a podcast because like me and you, bro, you gotta admit it. We be having some real conversations.
For sure.
Like me and Isaiah, we be having some real dope conversations, talking about some real stuff. And the conversation can be like real funny, it can get real serious, but it's real. You know what I mean? So I said to myself, we bring this to a platform like YouTube and just, bring it to people. I feel like we're very relatable people. I think we got big perspectives. We both very opinionated.
No cap.
So I think that's definitely the reason why I said we should do a podcast. What about you?
Kind of the same reasons. Like, the conversation that we have, I was more of like, dang, what would people think about this conversation? And I feel like the perfect way for us to be heard is just to make a podcast. And not only do I think the podcast is just going to benefit us, I think the podcast benefits other people too, being able to share
Hmm.
their opinions and being able to be heard. Everybody under this platform, under our platform, is going to be
Yep.
heard.
Most
And
definitely.
so that's another reason why I decided to do it. And like you said, sometimes the conversations could get serious. We'll be
Hmm.
talking like we 40 years old, knowing we just graduated. Sometimes they could get
Hey,
serious.
right. But that's just emotional maturity, you know. God bless us
Yeah,
with it.
no cap. Sometimes it could get freaky.
Depending
but
on the subject, you know.
but talking about girl problems and all that, man. But that's just a little bit why we decided to do it. Basically, just what I'm saying, want to be heard, and wondering what people would think about the conversations that we have. But that's pretty much about me and why I decided to do it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's tell the people though real quick, like how far we go back and how we know each other.
Okay, you want to go first or me?
I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, well, like as I said, we 18. We know we just graduated. I met Ben my freshman year. In our freshman year, I would like to say that I won't say that we was as close, but we was close.
Hmm.
Um, and I would say the reason I feel honestly me, I don't know his side, but the reason when I knew Ben was a real when I knew Ben was a real is when I transferred schools and he still kept in contact. He still reached out. We still had talks. You know what I'm saying? And that's when like I was like, man, this dude is a real like actual friend. Genuine
Hmm.
conversations. We'll go out, hang out. If I ain't have it, he'll pay for me. Just stuff like that, bro. Like he a real dude, and thankful to have this dude, honestly. But that's just how that's just how far we go back since freshman year.
Yes.
Ever since
Yes.
sophomore year, I kind of feel like we just been locked in, like for real.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, thankful that you too though, bro. And like you said, we go way back to like ninth grade. First day. I remember like you remember that first day in Mr. Woodman class, you was making them beats and stuff, and we just started vibing off from them.
I do. I
And you
do.
remember
I
that?
do. I do. I'm
Bro,
trying to
but
remember. I do.
I ain't even trying to start reminiscing a lot because I know that's not what the people came here for. But freshman year was elite, bro. And yeah, most definitely. Like me and Isaiah, like you said, I think we got pretty close in freshman year. But like you said, like sophomore year after you transferred, I'm gonna say the same thing with you because you could have stopped talking to me too. You had a
Yeah.
whole circle of new friends too. So, I think that it's just, the fact that we can reciprocate, a real reciprocal friendship. So I think that's another reason why we're so locked in and yeah, like you said, real recognize real. So before we move on, we gotta follow up on one of the biggest topics from episode one, which was the Carmelo Anthony case. So since we came out with episode one, there's been more security cam footage that's been leaked. It gives an immediate timeline of everything that happened leading up to, the incident. So yeah.
The footage shows the moments leading up to the response of interactions at the scene, and how quickly things escalated after that.
Legal analysts have offered different opinions about what the footage adds to the public's understanding, but it does not change the jury's verdict.
We're separating the publicly reported facts from our own opinions. Show the
Yeah,
camera footage.
all right, so let's talk about the footage.
Austin Metcalf entering the outside of the stadium. In this footage, you see he's entered the stadium and now about to walk up the bleachers. This shows a direct contradiction to what Hunter Metcalf said happened.
And we're walking back to our stand where we put our tent up so all the bleachers were right there were not wet from all the rain. We come back, we sit down, and this kid says something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life, never knew who he was. said something just inappropriate and uncalled for. And I turned around and asked him who he was.
Clearly, they did not come back and sit down like Hunter Metcalf claims they did. Instead, Austin walked directly to where Carmelo was sitting on the bleachers to confront him.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm, mm. Oh, Isaiah, what you think about that?
I think when it comes to that video, that just shows obviously him lying. And
Yeah.
and when you lying like that and you get exposed for it
Hmm.
for a case that's as big as this one, something got to be done.
Yeah.
Like I said, during the appeal that they have, I hope that they make him talk. I feel like they don't want him to talk. I know the judge is trying to retire now, I heard. I think they should make Hunter definitely talk because a lot of stuff that he's saying is not adding up. And don't let me find out Hunter is the reason his brother died.
Mm,
Come on, man.
hmm,
But I'm just
hmm,
saying when you get caught in a lie like that, lying for no reason, it's just like you might be guilty of something. Or you know
hmm.
your brother was guilty of something.
Yeah.
What about you though?
All right. So this is how I feel about this whole situation. As far as him contradicting his statements from court, that's definitely something that needs to be revisited in court and talked about when his appellate team does what they need to do.
For sure.
Um, and one thing I will say about this, so I don't know if you remember like when the story first broke out when they was talking about everything with Carmelo Anthony, but they tried to make it seem like he entered they tent and like he was coming to dap up his homeboy. Remember that?
I remember that.
But we see in this footage here, Hunter and Austin was coming into the tent, and then that's when things went
Clearly.
awry. You
Clearly
know what I
the
mean?
clearly the aggressors.
Exactly. So the switch up is just crazy to me. The footage I think being blurry is for a reason. I think there's an agenda behind that, and I think that we're missing something. The videos are just too choppy.
Two
Everything is
Chuck.
just too choppy for me. So I do think that there's definitely some missing footage and definitely a lot of lies and bullshit that's been thrown out. But the Speak Like Brothers podcast is here to call it out. So
Exactly.
you
And
know what
it
I'm
ain't
saying?
and it ain't nobody being biased towards Carmelo. It's just
No, no.
a,
I
a
told y'all in the last episode how I felt, and I was completely like,
no cap. I think it's honestly just it's a lot of stuff that's just not adding up. If you want to take Austin's side, you got to live with the fact that Hunter got caught in a lie. And when you
mm-hmm,
get caught in a lie, well, how we know you ain't lying about other stuff?
that's right.
It's just not adding up. So I'm
Mm-hmm,
questioning a lot of stuff right now
mm-hmm,
on Hunter's and Austin's behalf.
mm-hmm.
Um, that's just me. It
Yeah,
ain't me being biased or nothing like that. Cause like I said, I think this is a very tragic situation. It's just a lot of stuff
very,
it's just not adding up.
very.
So,
No, that's real. That's real. But we just want to give y'all a quick little follow up about this subject because we did talk about it.
okay, so it says Carmelo worked two jobs, captain of his track team, captain of his football team, straight A student,
Mm,
never been in any legal trouble, and
mm,
is active in his church. Hey, don't get me wrong. I know some people that go to church and still act like they the devil.
mm-hmm.
But listen,
I
this
know some
dude
gang members that went to church.
and still do some crazy things. But this dude is not just active in church. He's never been in trouble. He's a straight A student, And being a straight A student, a lot of people think it's easy, but a lot of people ain't doing it. So you gotta account that for something. Captain of the
Mm-hmm.
football team, captain of the track team, and work two jobs. Anybody that says that this dude is just a thug and trying to frame him as a just a straight murderer, cold hearted human, this right here says otherwise.
Mm-hmm. You gotta tell 'em like Cat Williams says, a fat face on lie. We just want to give y'all a quick little follow up about this subject because we did talk about it a lot in the first episode. And if anything comes out, we're gonna keep reporting it, giving our feel on this. So,
No cap.
so now it's time to move on to the next topic, which is our main question. So here's our big question for today. Can 18-year-olds realistically afford to move out in today's economy?
Or are parents expecting too much when they say, yeah, you're 18, it's time to go?
Honestly, I don't know about you, Isaiah, but I feel like with the prices of rent, and if you were 18-year-old like us going to college, inflation, the gas prices is just going down. I mean, finally, it's like I finally can get a little light 25 and at least get half a tank. But and then you gotta also look at that. You also gotta look at entry level jobs and like retail and fast food. The adults is taking up all the jobs, so it's hard to find one.
Right,
And yeah, it just seems like a lot. Like it just seems like a lot of managers now don't want to hire like teenagers, and that's why it's so hard for them to find a job. And it's like the adults is taking them up.
right,
But when you put college costs in there, rent prices, inflation, um, I honestly feel like living with your parents, especially while you in college, is a time where you could be stacking up your bread. So then when you get done, with your school years, you ready to buy your apartment. You ready to put a down payment on something. So I feel like parents need to look at independence versus financial stability and saving money.
right,
So that's what I feel about that. I know a lot of parents probably feel like their kids need to like go through the struggle and go through all that stuff. And personally, I'm gonna say this: do I feel like I could move out right now on my own and be good? Now, if we look at it from a financial aspect, just 18. But mentally, I'm strong. So I already know I can take care of the houses. I'm gonna make sure after I cook, everything is gonna be turned off. I ain't gonna blow up the house. I ain't gonna blow up the building. Like you were just on the phone with me the other day, Isaiah. Like remember I got in the crib and I was chilling and out of nowhere I told you, man, I gotta go check on my garage door and see this down because I don't play about where I stay. So
right.
for me, I feel like I probably could live on my own if we talking about like just like being able to survive on my own because I feel like I'm mature also. But I'm gonna tell you the one reason I also don't want to stay by myself because legally I can't own what rhymes with a clock. So no. So no, I'm not trying to stay by myself because somebody breaking my I'm the type I want to protect myself. So, we look at it from that aspect. If we
Right.
looking at it from that aspect, I don't know. But, yeah. But what you think about that?
Should 18-year-olds be able to afford to move out? Honestly, um, when you hear that question, my first answer that comes to my head is no. I think no, because what kid is just stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, stacking up is just gonna have enough money just to move out? Like you got to think about it. Kids nowadays love food. Kids nowadays play
Hmm.
sports, and sports is expensive. I can't tell you how much money my parents have spent on sports. Not to mention you got college. College is expensive. So no, just right off the bat, do I think children should be able to afford to move out 18-year-olds? No, I don't. Now, on the other hand, if your parents if your parents somehow, however they got it, do got a lot of money and you can move out, I think you can. I think it is a great way, to be able to go into the real world. But that also is if you are mentally ready to move out. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think being
Facts.
financially stable is a very good, question. Should 18-year-olds be financially stable? But I also think are kids that are 18 mentally ready to move out, because there's a lot of kids that do have money that just aren't mentally. A lot of kids try to be grown too quick. A lot of kids want to
Mm-hmm.
move out, try to get into this real world that they're just not ready for, and then it hits them. Next thing you know, you got your daughter, she a baby mama with two baby daddies rolling around. Now, I ain't trying to be no grandpa in about 20, 30 years, so my kid is definitely gonna be able
Mm-mm.
to you feel me? But
Mm-mm.
kids just be trying to be too grown. That's how babies get made, having too much fun, stuff like that. So no, I do not think kids that are 18 should just move out. Should they be a can they afford to move out? I think that depends on the family situation, but
Yeah.
most of the time, probably not. You can't expect nobody that's 18 just to be able to move out right away.
Right. And to add on what you said, especially like about college, college class is a lot different than um middle school and high school. Trust me, I just got my schedule for college, and it's really not a lot of time for you to work outside of school,
Right.
at least for my major. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Like,
Unless your parents are rich.
yeah, now if your parents is rich and you can afford it, move out,
You're right.
get your place. If you mentally ready. If you
Right.
like us,
S-
get your own place.
Strong, independent black men with melanin. Quit playing.
Yes, sir. Educated young black kings, you feel me?
I think it's one of those things where it's just like, I think the mental part is a very, very big part in the situation. For example, um, you Ben, I think you are very, very smart. I think mentally
Thank you.
you're
Thank
a
you.
very strong-minded person. Somebody our age like you will be able to move out into the real world. Um, I think I truly believe that. But once again, there's some other people, maybe me, for example. Like, I think I'm mentally strong too, but I think I need
Yeah,
a
I
help.
think you are.
But I still think I need that help, from my parents. So it's just like I would stay me personally, like I am. Well, when I go to college, obviously, but when I am staying in my home city or hometown, I will be staying at my parents. And I
Hmm.
think that's just because I'm building a financial structure for the real
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I feel like it's all right to crawl before you walk, and it's all right to walk before you run. So I agree with you on that. I feel like you're a smart guy though too, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with you. I feel like I'll still, I'm growing up. I need my parents' help too. So staying at home right now is the move. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. You ever thought about, okay, so let's say you come fresh out of high school and you
Right.
decide you don't want to go to college and you just working like a full-time fast food job or some other kind of job or some other kind of stuff. I feel like maybe then, depending on if you just decide you just want to work and you really don't want to do nothing but just work, and if you got enough income to supply yourself to stay by yourself, then maybe it's not a bad idea. What you think about that? Like if you got a full-time 40-hour job somewhere and you ain't going to college.
I think kids like that still should stay in and get that extra jump start with their parents. Because the thing
Mhm.
about it is, if you rush out and you try to move and try to be grown so quick, You're gonna be working, 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 working. And the next thing you know, I just feel like you're not gonna know how to do certain things that your parents know how to do. Because I
Like
feel
what?
like buying a house. Um, Once again, you move out while you 18, you know whose help you gonna need to buy a house? Your parents. Wanna know why? Because in the state I live in, you can't
Hmm.
buy a house and you can't get your name on the lease until you're 19. So that's another big part of the situation. It's just like my mom's name gonna be on the lease, or my father's name is gonna be on the lease if I buy a new house. Why don't I just stay in my house if my parents letting me? Why I want to be grown
But
so quick?
but you ever thought about this? If you in an apartment and you 18 and you've been working like 40 hours a week, let's say as we got out in May. Or matter of fact, they may have been working 40 hours before school even got out.
All
You
right,
can stack money for a down payment while you live in an apartment because if you working full time and you ain't going to college, you got less costs. You got more money you can invest in other stuff.
true.
You know? So I'm saying like I feel like parents like your parents will still like show you, you know, how to make a down payment even if you don't live with them. I could look on ChatGPT and they'll tell me how to put a down payment down. So I feel like you can still stack your bread in that way, but that's beside the point.
Yeah,
But I see where you coming from too. But yeah.
I just think why not have help, or
Hmm.
why not use help when it's right there? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's just kind of me. Like if I have something to fall back on or lean back on, why not lean back on it or fall back on it if it's right there? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. But sometimes you gotta think about this. Like our families, I feel like our families is like real cool. But everybody's family ain't like ours. Sometimes, and I talk to a lot of people and they reasons why they maybe want to move out do make sense to me. Everybody's home life is different.
That's facts. That's
You
facts.
know what I mean? So you never know. But
And
yeah,
that's where the real in the podcast comes in. Like we
yeah,
not just talking about us or our
right,
stories, or
right.
we trying to see from everybody's perspective. Obviously
Mm-hmm.
we can't because there's too many, but for the
Mm-hmm.
main other perspectives, we try to see that too. Or
Right.
should 18-year-olds be able to move out? Well, I mean, shoot, everybody's family different. Not everybody got
Right.
money. Some people do got money. We not just looking from our perspective, and that's another
Mm-hmm.
reason why this podcast is a real podcast, the Speak Like
It's
Brothers
a real
podcast.
podcast.
Right. So that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah. And I
Um,
think that's where the relatability comes in at the podcast too. Like you said, we talking from all lenses. We talking about you, 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 we talking about you.
and your
You know what
mama.
I'm saying? And your grandma.
Right.
All right, now it's time for the segment that got the people talking the most last episode. Brothers Court.
Um, this week's case will be the one last booty call.
Okay, and if you're new to the Brothers Court and new to the podcast, every week we talk about who's right, who's wrong, or they're both wrong, and we give the verdict. So, with no further ado, let's get into the last booty call.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, I had to give him his last dance. I promised him that. He loves me for now. You get out! Get out! I'm sorry, I had to. Close it. I'm done.
Hey, that would have never, ever happened at a black funeral. Oh, she would have walked out there untouched.
She wouldn't have. I ain't gonna say it wouldn't have happened because some people crazy, but she wouldn't have
Hmm.
walked out there. Somebody would have attacked her.
You ain't
Somebody.
kidding.
But
Charlie got to enjoy that chocolate factory one more last time.
man, hey,
I ain't even mad at him. That's the play in me, but
hey, hey, from
hey,
one player to another, man. Hey, Charlie, man, you a player, man. You a player. I'm gonna have to give you some credit. You know what I'm saying? You a player, man. But man, he was cheating on his wife with that chocolate.
right. So, who's right, who's wrong, or is everybody wrong?
Uh, I think we all know who wrong.
Right, we all know. We really just showed that video, just to get y'all laughing a little bit. So,
I mean,
um,
wait, is she really wrong though? Why you think she wrong? That's what he wanted for his funeral.
how do you know that? Did he put in his will?
He can't put nothing like that in his will.
You don't know.
Listen, I don't I think she was definitely wrong, honestly, but it's just a funny situation to be in.
It is. It is.
Like now I honestly think they handled the situation perfectly, just told her to leave. Um More of a professional way to handle it, you know.
Yeah.
But like you said, at a black funeral, she probably wouldn't have made it out, honestly.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna say this: everybody wrong. He wrong because he was cheating with her. He wrong for coming there and parking like. I'm gonna say they all wrong. And
Man,
then you did it for this man's wife too.
man.
Like you ain't got no respect.
And she wasn't even throwing the mother.
I
Man,
know.
she over here, there my ass. But man, she ain't doing
It was
nothing.
a little stiff, but
Yeah.
we don't know her age, so we don't know how the knees is. So I ain't gonna judge.
Hey, I don't
Um,
seen some 60-year-old with some knees. Pause.
what's this you just seen with some knees?
What did you say?
I got,
but
hold on, next
uh
time. Hold on, next time I see you, we gotta look to your search history.
hey, Paul, I'm
What
just
60
saying,
year olds you
bro.
looking at?
I'm just saying she looked too stiff. She looked like she got back problems and all type of stuff. I don't know. But without further ado, that will be all, for episode 2. We gonna wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in to Speak Like Brothers, and whether if you guys agree with us or found yourself somewhere in the middle, the goal is to never to tell you what to think. The goal is to start a conversation. Remember to think critically and do your own research and always seek the facts for yourself.
If you enjoyed the conversation, please make sure to subscribe, follow us on our platforms, share the podcast, like it, comment. We love when y'all interact with us. And yeah,
And let us know the answers to today's questions.
well, I'm your favorite brother, Ben.
And I'm your favorite brother, Isaiah.
And remember to speak
Relate.
and understand. And until episode 3, what we tell y'all last time, peace in the Middle East.